Hi. Well, today I'm going to talk about the key turning points in my life and the lessons that I have learned from these. I am a retail professional now with about 25 years of experience. Well, my first job was selling credit cards, and today I am the business head for Landmark stores. Through this period, I've had several turning points, both professionally and personally. And the way I'd like to look at them is, what did these turning points teach me? What are my life lessons? So I'll begin with the first one. The very first one was, of course, when I chose to work in the retail sector. So the first lesson for me is choose your niche. I decided almost about 20 years ago that I wanted to work for a retail organization, for a Tata organization, and I did get selected as an assistant buyer at Trent. I developed my niche as a buyer. Product was my strength. In fact, it's still my strength. And I developed myself basis that niche that I created for myself. Well, the second one is very early on in my career. My dad advised me that if you want to grow in life, you must train and empower your team members. And as you do that, they will love working with you, and you will have many more opportunities to develop yourself and grow in your career. So the second lesson for me was to train and empower my team members and my colleagues. The third one, of course, and I'll say this, is because I've been working with Trent Limited now for 20 years. And that for me is one of my personal values, which is loyalty. That's the third one that I'd like to share with you. I have been with Trent, and I feel that it was a two-way trusting process that we had. So while I delivered and performed, the organization also gave me opportunities to challenge myself as well. That brings me to the fourth lesson. Always challenge yourself. Never be happy with status quo. I've always challenged myself, and the most recent challenge was to restructure, redefine Landmark. Landmark, as we all know, is or was well known as a bookstore and a music store. And our challenge now was to develop this as a more relevant store that appeals to the youth lifestyle. And I've had this great opportunity and fun working with JUMPINGGOOSE to develop a completely new brand identity for Landmark Excite. I'll just share this with you. That's our new logo, and that's our character Excite that JUMPINGGOOSE has developed for us. So that was my fourth lesson, which is challenge yourself, never be happy with status quo. The next one is from a personal experience. Well, I was busy being a buyer, and I was at the peak of my career. At which point, I kind of, I came across a personal hurdle. I actually lost my dad very suddenly. And it just was in my face that I've been so busy with my career and building my career. I wish I had spent more time with him, learning from him, and just spending quality time with him. So that's my fifth lesson. Family is always first. The next one that I'd like to share is, yes, I did get a little bit emotional there. But the next one for me is, I constantly love to learn and upgrade and upskill myself. And I think there is no age limit or age restriction to learn and develop yourself. So the next turning point for me was when I took up retail specific courses. So there was a retail certification course that we did with IIM, and that was in IIM Bangalore. And the next one for me, the highlight was when I did a retail certification in retail management from ISB Hyderabad. So those, I feel, really helped me look at my work process from a very different angle. And I always believe one should learn and keep growing. That's how you kind of stay young and relevant. Well, the last lesson and most important one was when I became a mother. I was very guilty of spending a lot of time at work, very little time with my baby, and I was going through a lot of personal, emotional stress at that point in time. And I decided the best way to deal with this would be to create a perfect work life balance. And that, I think, is my biggest lesson, that a good work life balance is important for your own emotional well being and obviously for your own personal and professional growth as well. So, those are the key turning points in my life and some 7 lessons that I have learned or recorded through this experience. Thank you.